Hey everyone, it's Dave from Curtis Crafts, and today I make another prop from Jet Set Radio. This is gonna be basically the entire thing. So what you're looking at here is some corrugated plastic that you'd normally see on campaign signs in people's yards. But today I'm using it to form the skeleton structure for this boombox. It's held together relatively simple with just some hot glue and eventually some tape just to keep the corners nice and sharp. I wanted to recess the top and bottom panels for this so that they wouldn't poke through the foam when I wrapped it. That proved to be a little bit tricky as I had to use a knife to keep everything from falling down. And after that I used some masking tape to mark a straight line because I decided it was just a little too tall, it didn't quite look right. Once I had all of my frame cut, I glued it together and then used some masking tape to sharpen the top and bottom edges. I've never made anything out of this material before and it seems really flimsy, but once you glue it into some 90-degree angles, it holds up pretty well. I'm using some tacky glue spray instead of Super 77 just to try something new here. And it turns out to work quite well to bond the foam to the plastic. Once it's all coated, it's real easy to wrap the entire thing in foam and then trim off the excess. I tried to grab some stills from the game, but nothing showed up very well. There's not a lot of artwork of the front of the box since you always see the back of it or the side. And so I was forced to use a little bit of artistic interpretation, but I did find one image that showed the front of the box, but in a tiny 200 pixel image that I had to blow up and leave on the computer screen at all times. But whatever works, right? I start to add in the details with 2mm foam. These particular pieces will get painted silver later, but I'm trying to do as much detail as possible without painting since they seem to sell all these different colors of foam, which are typically useless to me. But when you have cel-shaded artwork like this, they're kind of perfect. I'm using scraps of foam as spacers, and I'm definitely not measuring anything. As long as this entire thing winds up symmetrical looking on either side for the most part, I'm gonna be happy. And if you're wondering, I'm using Gorilla Super Glue, and the only reason for that is because it comes in a really large quantity, and I'm going to be using a lot of it to glue all these little tiny pieces down. And after all of these future silver pieces are put into place, it's time for some, color. And I'm sure you noticed in the beginning of the video I bought myself this really nice circle cutting template, only to never ever use it in this project except as a straight edge. Why would you use this when you have this perfectly good roll of tape? After using that roll of tape to make myself 2 circles for the speakers, it's on to adding the rest of the details, which turned out to take all day. But for you, it's just going to be a little while. As you can see, super lightweight, kind of attractive, very cartoony looking, just like the game. And easy to pick up. Pretty durable too. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll keep making stuff. Don't worry, it's fine.